Hey, I'm going to make this quick. This is a message I got yesterday after I said something in a video, and I think it could impact you. And if so, I want you to follow suit like this messenger did. I'm going to keep their identity anonymous here. I'm sorry I had to cancel my membership. It was only $2, but I'm on disability. It's getting harder to budget what I need. I debated a couple of months because if I could afford to, I'd give a lot more. The message at the end of one of your Wednesday shows finally let me see that it was okay. I still hate it. Thank you for the support you've given, even though you shouldn't have been giving to support this channel if you're on a disability, if you're on a fixed income. No, I say that all the time, and I mean it. There's a lot of people on YouTube who have channel memberships, who have merch, who have different fundraising mechanisms to support their work, and I'm no different. I guess maybe I am different in the way that I don't want your money if you don't have it to give. I want you to take care of yourself. It is what is paramount. It's what's most important, absolutely. So if you're in this situation, cancel your channel membership like this person did here, right here. I'm not going to encourage you to cancel on somebody else, but if it's me, cancel your membership if you're in a tight spot. Here is 45 seconds of what sparked this, and take it to heart. I mean it. If you don't have the money, cancel your membership. There are other ways to support. Anyway, here's what I said yesterday, and then we'll get straight to the video. On the note of supporting independent media, if you have an extra $2 a month, if it's extra and you could throw it out the window and you'd like to help support this on a monthly basis, please do. Not if you're on a fixed income. I do not want your money if it is painful or sacrificial in any way. Take care of yourself. That is what's most important, especially in these times. If you're giving right now as a channel member and it's painful to do so, turn off your channel membership. Please, please. But if you have $2 extra a month, become a channel member, click the join button below, or go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. Can we get more of this? More of this energy from elected officials is what we need. I'm going to talk about Steven Horsford here, an Arizona congressman in a committee yesterday. But let me say this before I launch into this. I've been talking about this very thing, needing this energy for a long time. Long before I was in your eyeballs here on YouTube, I did my audio podcast, I Doubt It, co-hosted by Brittany Page and me. And I've talked about this weird adherence to this traditional political order nonsense of my good friend across the aisle here and the Honorable Mr. Duh and the Honorable Madam blah, blah, blah. All of this is nonsense. This may have existed back in the 60s or maybe the 70s, but shortly after Reagan came on the scene, this was no longer the case. The acrimony between the parties, the vast differences between the two parties and the values that they hold is self-evident. So we need more of Congress people getting aggressive in hearings, holding people to account, using language like Steven Horsford did here. This is a clip of the Donald Trump's trade negotiator, trade representative. And it is very clear he had no idea that he's in a hearing as the tariffs are lifted or replaced with just a 10% across the board. He had no idea. And in real time, he tries to act like he knew it was going to happen. But this congressman's like, well, why didn't you tell us? You're the trade ambassador, the trade representative. Why did you not tell this co-equal branch of government about what was afoot? And he will not answer, refuses to answer. And this enrages, this justifiably outrages Steven Horsford, who gives it to him, lets him know, created this moment. We need more of this from your congressperson, from your senator, less of Mitch McConnell is an honorable man, Kevin McCarthy is an honest man, which was said by Joe Biden over the course of his administration, both of which are not true, otherwise known as a lie, neither honorable nor honest. We need this energy that you're getting ready to watch right now.
Mr. Trade Representative, are you aware that the tariffs have been paused?
I am, yes.
When were you made aware of that?
Well, I understood the decision was made a few minutes ago. It's something
Sitting here,
that's under discussion.
sitting here under discussion. So did you know that that this was under discussion, and why did you not include that as part of your opening remarks?
So typically what I don't do is divulge the contents of my discussions with
What are the
President
details of the
Congress.
pause?
Well, my understanding is that because so many countries have decided not to retaliate, we're going to have about 90 days.
No, excuse me? China increased their tariffs on the United States. Trump blinked.
What's the blink, sir?
What do you know about this pause? What are the details of it?
Well, the details, as I understand it, is that China continues to retaliate. Other countries didn't retaliate. The president 2 or 3 days ago said we wanted to negotiate with those countries that asked for meetings. That's what we're doing.
What are the
We've had
details? How long is the pause? How many days? How many weeks?
I understand it's 90 days. I haven't spoken to the president since I've
So
been
the
in this
trade
hearing.
representative hasn't spoken to the president of the United States about a global reordering of trade.
Yes, I have. I've
And
just
yet
been in the hearing with you, sir.
But yet he announced it on a tweet. WTF? Who's in charge?
The president of the United States is in charge.
And what do you know about those details?
Well, as I mentioned,
It looks like your boss just pulled the rug out from under you and paused the tariffs, the taxes on the American people. There's no strategy. You just found out 3 seconds ago, sitting here, we saw you.
we've been discussing a
If
variety
you
of these
came
actions
here
for a
knowing that you were going to be turned off, that these tariffs were going to be turned off, why didn't you include that in your opening statement? Why didn't you reference that as part of your testimony?
Well, I don't disclose my conversations with the president, sir.
These were specific questions we asked you all along. What's the strategy? These are real consequences for the American people and small businesses. I had a group of small businesses in my office earlier today talking about the impacts of these tariffs on aluminum and steel. This is amateur hour, and it needs to stop. What does this even mean for your negotiating strategy? How are you in charge of negotiation if the president is tweeting about this from wherever the hell he is?
The president was elected, and he runs the trade policy, and I advise him and execute his
Who
trade policy.
executes the trade policy?
I execute the trade
Did you
policy.
know
with the president.
that this was happening?
We have been discussing all kinds of
And there's another
options.
member of the cabinet, Bessent, who just canceled coming to the Hill to avoid talking about the market because it's in turmoil. This in just days because there was no strategy, there was no plan.
There was no strategy, there was no plan. Self-evident words that may be the most self-evident that have ever been spoken. Donald Trump doesn't traffic in strategy or plan. A lot of the details, as I understand it, well, you should be able to tell us what you understand because you're in direct talks with Donald Trump as president of the United States. You are his direct representative. What do you mean, as I understand it? It shouldn't be that complicated. It should be a clearly articulated policy, should it not? After all, it's only the health of the United States economy and by extension the world economy. That's all that's at stake. Trade representative. I'm going to play one more. This is how it finished. And again, this is the energy we need to see from our political elected leaders. Watch this.
But meanwhile, the speaker is rushing to the floor to pass a budget reconciliation to screw America by passing the biggest tax cut in history on the backs of the American people. WTF? Who's in charge? Because it sure doesn't look like it's the trade representative. You just got the rug pulled out from under you. I wish I could feel some empathy, but the empathy I have is for the American people whose very well-being and livelihoods are being affected. This is not a game. This is real life. I yield back.
Let the record reflect that there's more Republicans in this chamber than there are Democrats currently in this committee room. There's 6 of us, there's 5 of you. So let's make sure we get the facts right. I appreciate the president did not blink on China, as was said earlier, and it needs to be corrected in the record. In fact, he increased China by 125%.
Would you yield, Mr. Chairman?
I do not.
Yield? Can we have a colloquy?
No.
We don't want to talk about the trade policy here in the Trade Committee. This is our jurisdiction.
Your time has expired, and I'm more than happy to talk to you.
I asked if you would yield.
And I said no.
Because you don't want to defend the policy or the strategy. Kick me out. What you gonna do? Kick me out.
Mr. Yocum, you're recognized.
Mr. Smith from Missouri, and he actually increased it. Yes, I'm Representative Smith. I know it's petty, but it's just, it's low-hanging fruit maybe, but it's too good to pass up. I just have an appetite for mockery of these dumb shits. But listen, Steven Horsford, good for you, sir. I have an open door policy for you to come in here and talk on this very program. I would love to have you. If he's your representative, reach out, let him know, tweet at him, because I'm not on Twitter, get him on Blue Sky, whatever. I want to talk to this guy. I love and appreciate you. I want to talk to you. You can do it in the comments. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me the old-fashioned way, email daily@dollemore.com. I love and appreciate you very much. Again, at Dollemore on the social media. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.